I don't know if I'm going to have done this right. Oh, hi guys. How are you doing? Are you okay? My name is Fairy Trina and I'm a bit worried because I've just got a letter. Is that why you're here? Did you know I was going to get a letter from one of Santa's elves today? Anyway, because you're here, do you want to help me read this letter? I'll tell you what it's all about. Well, I've got a very good friend called Geronimo and he works with Santa. He's one of his elves. And every year I ask him if he can send me a list of some of the things that Santa's going to look for when he decides if we're going to get any presents or not. And sometimes in fairyland, sometimes I do things that are good and sometimes I forget about doing some things. And so I'm just going to open up my letter and I'm going to see what the list is and if I've been doing them. Okay. Whew. And maybe if you listen to this, you can figure out whether or not you guys have been doing this too, because you know that Santa's elves like watching sometimes, don't you? Okay. Have you cleaned your teeth twice a day? Yes, I've done that. I'll clean my teeth in the morning and I'll clean my teeth at night time. Yes, Alan. Do you do that too? Oh, you do? Yes. Okay, we've got a big tick for that. Oh, great. Okay, number 2. Put your slippers under your bed. Oh, yes, I do that. I do that. I always, when I wake up, I put my slippers under my bed when I finish using them so I don't kick them. Do you do that too? You do? Yes! That's 2. I've got 2 things right that I'm supposed to do. Okay. Wash your face every morning. Do you wash your face every morning? Sometimes you do. Sometimes I do. Okay, that's it. I've got to remember I have to wash my face every single morning because I know that the elves are listening and watching. Okay, I've got to do that one. Clean your ears. Now that's something I know that not everybody does, because sometimes when I'm walking around I might just go ooh and look in someone's ears and they look like there's poo coming out of their ears, because that's like ear poo coming out. Do you clean the ear poo out of your ears? I hope so, because it's disgusting. So yes, I do clean my ears. Make my bed. No. Sometimes I forget to make my bed in the morning. Do you make your bed? Okay, I've got to be better than you. I've got to remember to make my bed. Right. Eating all your vegetables. I know you don't do that. I know that some of you don't eat all the vegetables on your plate. And you should. But I do. I eat all my vegetables when I have my dinner. And I don't even leave 1 pea on the plate. Yes! So I've got to get that one right. 2 pieces of fruit a day. Sometimes I forget. Do you sometimes forget to eat 2 pieces? You don't. Do you eat 2 pieces? Well, how come you remember how to eat 2 pieces of fruit a day? Or some of you don't. Well, I've got to remember I've got to eat 2 pieces of fruit a day. And fold the washing. Oh, yes, I do that. You don't. Do some of you not do folding the washing? Okay, you've got to remember how to do that, guys. Listen, Christmas is going to be here before we can even blink, before you even burp. So you have to remember to do these good things each day so Santa knows that you've been trying your hardest to help during the year and that you're not stinky. Speaking of doing good things, because you're here, would you like a story? Well, the story I'm going to tell you is about a lovely boy called Bryn. And Bryn was a little bit sad because all he ever wanted was a puppy dog. Do any of you have any pets at home? You do? Has anyone got a cat? Oh yeah, some of you have got cats. What about a dog? Do any of you have dogs? Yes, you do. Well, that's what Bryn wanted. He wanted a puppy dog. So he worked very, very hard at home helping his mum and dad until one day his dad said, Bryn, today's the day we're going to get you a puppy dog and you can choose. Woohoo, said Bryn. Are we going to go to the pet shop? No, said his dad. We're going to go to the animal shelter. What's that? Said Bryn. Well, said his dad, there are lots of people that buy dogs and cats or get dogs and cats and then they decide they can't look after them. So they give them to a special home. And all those animals in that home, they need somewhere special to live. And so we're going to go rescue one and make sure that one of those puppy dogs in that special animal shelter has a home and you can choose one. Bryn was so excited. They raced down to the animal shelter. And while he was looking around, well, he got a bit mixed up because there were so many animals. There were so many dogs and cats and guinea pigs. Oh, Dad, said Bryn, I feel so sorry for all these animals. I wish we could take them all. I know, said his dad, but listen, even taking one would do so much good and help so much. And then Bryn saw him, the most gorgeous little puppy in the corner. He was all black and he was wagging his tail. That's the one. And when Bryn went over to see whether the dog liked him, well, that little dog licked Bryn's face and wagged his tail so hard and he just wanted to hang out with Bryn and play. Can I please, Daddy, can I have this one? Of course you can, said his dad. Yay, said Bryn. And you know what he called him? Raven, because he was all black. And you know, Raven and Bryn became the best of friends. They would play with each other outside. They would fetch sticks and throw balls, and Bryn would even go on his hands and knees like a doggy himself. They were so happy together. And you know, Raven was actually very clever. He learnt very quickly how to do things like roll over and put his paw up when he wanted something to eat and wait by his bowl until Bryn said, now you can eat. But Bryn's friends didn't know what kind of dog he was. Well, what kind of dog is he? Said Bryn's best friend Tom. Is he a terrier, fox thing, or a poodle, or an Alsatian? No, said Bryn. He's not any of those. He's just a mixed dog. A mixed dog? I've never heard of a mixed dog. I think they're the best, said Bryn, because he's a mystery and nobody knows who he really is. Well, Bryn was very excited. He'd been working with Raven very hard. It was the special fair coming up, the village fair. And in the village fair, there was going to be a competition with dogs. Bryn had looked after Raven so beautifully. He cleaned his teeth. He'd made sure his coat was all shiny and beautiful. And when the day came, oh, they were excited. He had to hold Raven back. Raven just wanted to get to that special fair as fast as he could. But when Bryn walked up to the lady who was busy writing down all the people that wanted to enter the special dog competition, "Oh, hello," she said. "What's that?" "Oh, this is my dog Raven." "I know it's a dog, but what is it?" "What do you mean?" said Bryn. "Well, it's not a poodle, and it doesn't look like an Alsatian, and it certainly doesn't look like a terrier." "That's a mixed dog." "Yes," said Bryn, "he's a mystery and he's very clever." "Oh no, I'm sorry," said the lady. "We only let pure breeds in here. You can't enter, I'm afraid. It's a mixed dog." "What?" Bryn's face fell. He turned away with Raven and walked over to the closest, biggest tree he could see. He sat down under the tree that spread its great big beautiful branches, just moving in the sunny afternoon, and Bryn began to cry. "Oh, I'm sorry, Raven," he said. "I really wanted to enter you in the competition. I feel really sad." Poor Bryn. Raven came over and licked his face. But just as he was wiping big tears from his eyes, an old man walked over to him. "I say, young chap," he said, "what are you crying for?" "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm crying," said Bryn, "because I can't enter my dog into the competition because he's a mixed dog and he has to be one particular breed." "Oh, nonsense," said the old man. "Come on. Do you know what? You've missed one competition, but I know one you can enter. It's for the best kept dog, and your dog looks very healthy to me." "Really?" said Bryn. "Do you think they'd let me enter, even though my dog is a mixed mystery dog?" "Of course," said the old man. "Quick, You're going to miss it. We've got 2 minutes. Well, Bryn and Raven were so excited. They went there. They went into the competition. And funnily enough, that lovely old man ended up being a judge. And when the 3 judges walked around, they had a look inside Raven's mouth, and his teeth were beautifully white. They had a look through his eyes, very bright and sparkly. They had a look at his beautiful coat, so smooth and silky and shiny. And they had a look at his paws and his claws, looked very neat and tidy. Announcement for the winner of the best kept dog. The winner is Bryn and Raven! Bryn could not believe his ears. It's us, Raven! We won! He said. And he couldn't have been more happy or proud when they gave him a beautiful medal, and a great big medal just for Raven. So next time you decide if you want an animal or a pet to keep, you've got to make sure you look after them very well. You've got to feed them and walk them and bath them and love, 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 love them. And if you decide you want to get one, why don't you go to an animal shelter? Because at an animal shelter, all those animals have once had a home, and then they became orphans and they didn't have one anymore. And it would be really nice to give one a very special home, and I know that they would love you very much, just as much as I do. I hope you enjoyed the story. Now listen, I'm going to go and I'm going to wash my face. Shh. And I'm going to make my bed and do a couple of things. If you're listening, Santa, I'm going to do my ears and my teeth and my bed. And I'm going to do some other things like helping clean the kitchen and do the toilets. And I'm being really good. I'll see you soon. I'm going to do